Okay, so Sunday night, I'm playing in the finals of this tournament. I think this was our first game. Hey Dave, why don't you keep talking about this damn tournament all the time? Well, it's what I remember and it's fresh in my mind, and I think this is relevant. Now, so I'm sitting and watching my opponent run out the stripes, and he misses the 8 ball and leaves me with this. So, of course, part of me is really glad that my opponent missed, and another part of me is like, well, why couldn't he have left me a better shot? But you know, you take what you get. So 99 times out of 100, when I'm not playing in the finals of a tournament against a much better player, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to stretch out a little bit and shoot this left-handed to get shape on the 8. Okay. But I was playing in the finals of a tournament against a player that was much better than me. And I didn't trust my speed control shooting left-handed. If the cue ball had been heading towards that pocket, it was going in. It was shot too hard. So even though the 5 went in, I was going to scratch. I couldn't scratch at that speed. So what I did is I came back and I got my bridge and I got my break stick. Are you bored yet? This is pretty boring. Put it on. I told my opponent, you know what, usually I would just shoot this left-handed, but I'm showing you some respect by shooting this with the bridge like a caveman. So then I hobbled back up to the table and got the bridge and set up this shot. I can be almost as accurate with the bridge on a shot like this, even though I'm obviously much further away than I would be if I was up here. But even, you know, the accuracy is pretty close, but the speed control is a lot better. Even though this is an unnatural motion, it is, you know, my dominant hand and that dominant arm. So I can shoot this and not worry about scratching really at all. I know I'm not going to shoot this ball too hard. I'm just going to put it in, actually hit it a little bit too soft. But in real life, I think I came to about there. I don't think he made me shoot the ball. I think he just gave me the game. The whole reason I just went through all that was, it's not like I'm great at shooting left-handed, okay? I feel like I'm better at shooting with my opposite hand than a lot of people are. But no way, I mean, I'm not Ronnie O'Sullivan, I'm not Efren Reyes, I'm not probably any number of other players who are interchangeable, you know, ambidextrous or amphibious, as Dan DiLiberio has said. I'm merely competent on the shots like this. I would rather shoot it like this, left-handed, than be back here all stretched out, or get the bridge out and shoot it like a caveman, or God forbid, shoot it like this. I would much rather just shoot this fairly simple shot left-handed. That's something that I worked on. I worked on being able to do things like that left-handed, you know, for a long time. And it's only this kind of shot. I'm not working on being completely interchangeable, where it doesn't matter which hand I shoot with. There's just certain shots that are easier for me to shoot left-handed. So I started out just practicing stuff like this. Can I shoot that? Can I shoot that? Can I shoot that? I have to make a conscious adjustment because my eyes are completely different. I have to look like I'm cutting this tree into this long rail in order to get it to go more or less straight into the pocket. If I try to shoot the 3, what looks to me like straight into the pocket, I'm liable to overcut it. I'm liable to cut it to my left. Yeah, like just exactly like that. I had to learn this, and I was able to learn it down here on a practice table, or a practice table, maybe not this one. So now if it comes up, I just know what it is. I'm not having to try it in competition or whatever. And eventually I would work myself to where I can put a little bit of a stroke on the ball, even shooting left-handed. Nothing fantastic, nothing super difficult. Just be able to put a little bit of speed on the shot when I would need to. So I'm to the point now where I'm confident in shooting left-handed. And that's it. That's almost as far as I feel like I need to be. Sure, it would be nice to be Rhino, Sullivan, Efren, Reyes, interchangeable, ambidextrous, amphibious, whatever. I don't expect any of those things to ever happen. So I'm not particularly worried about it. But I will, if I'm playing bank pull in one pocket, I will shoot a shot like this left-handed. Or maybe not like that. Make it a little bit more awkward. So right-handed, this is a pretty awkward situation. Behind the back, no. But left-handed is perfectly fine. It's just a matter of being able to hit the ball fairly straight and put it in. Now, I missed a shot because it was a hard shot, not because it was left-handed. I believe in that case. Anyway. So yeah, I saw that as something I needed to work on. The ability to shoot some shots left-handed. And I worked on it. Weird, you know. I have other things that I haven't worked on that I still need to. Or I have worked on, but I need more work because I still suck at them. I have some shots that I used to be fairly decent at, 20 years ago, and I've lost the ability to be decent at them. I've gained the ability to suck at them. But one of the things that I have a big problem with is when the cue ball is stuck to the rail. I can have a perfectly straight-in shot on this 10, where if the cue ball's here, I'm probably never going to miss a shot. If the cue ball's here, I may be 50-50 at best. And I have an optical illusion that happens when the cue ball is stuck to the rail. It's the way the rail's going diagonally, or I can only see a part of the cue ball, so maybe I'm not hitting it on the vertical axis like I want. But there are a lot of times where I can think, well, this looks exactly right, and that's what happens. I cut them to the right. I know this, and I do work on this. And a lot of times when I have a situation like this that comes up in a game, it kind of freaks me out a little bit, because I'm like, I'm going to miss the shot. People are watching, whatever. I'm going to miss the shot, lose the game, whatever, because I don't know how to do this, because I haven't worked on it. Hey, anyway, I almost missed it. I absolutely have to work on those, and I know this. I do not believe that's an issue for me because of the elevation. In this case, I'm not shooting it like this. I'm just trying to just be freaking accurate with the damn shot. Yeah, and something happens with me. It just does. The elevation is a problem for me. Actually, seems to be one of the things that I've developed over the years. I've lost the ability to shoot a shot accurately if I'm elevated. And a lot of it is the same as with the rail situation. But in this case, this is a straight-in shot. I'm liable to hit this 11 ball to the right. Yeah. So with a straight-in shot, I'm liable to go to the right. If I have the same shot where now I need to cut it to the left, I have a tendency to overcut it. If I have to cut it to the right, I have a tendency to overcut it. Just being elevated. I think in that case, I'm not stroking smoothly when I'm elevated. Something weird's going on and it's making it square ball. And I just haven't caught it yet to be able to figure out what the hell's going on. You know, this is a problem. And one of the guys I play against a lot, he does this to people on purpose. One of the standard safeties he does is makes you get jacked up over and over the ball. Works great. He's very good at those things. Another thing I used to be pretty good at, back in my bar pool days, I guess, was combinations. Nowadays, God, I'm horrible. There have been times where I thought I might be the worst combination shooter on planet Earth. And it would be things like this. Where I would just miss a shot. I'm 50-50 on this shot, I bet. Again, working on them. They're not any fun for me at all to mess with because I suck so much at them. But back in the old bar days, I could just do that. I could just fire in combinations, not quite like they were just a regular shot, but they certainly didn't give me any problems. The only way I can make them now is if I do what I just did. And basically just hand the shit over to my inner pool player and hope he puts the ball in, because I have no clue and I would not be any help whatsoever. And this is only good when my inner pool player feels like putting the ball in. There's so many times that it's horrible, 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 horrible. You gotta work at it. Gotta work on it. Pool is supposed to be at least for me, you know, a lifetime endeavor of learning stuff and getting a lifetime endeavor to improve at things. I definitely have some things I have to improve at. Probably as I get older, there will be more and more things that I have to, you know, get back. I will have lost the ability to do certain things. Get back. The only other thing that I kind of just want to talk about, and this is not anything that, well, I don't think anybody is the master of this kind of a shot, okay? It's an air bridge shot. But, you know, they do come up, and sometimes you just have to shoot them. And so it's nice to be able to work with them every now and then. See, I'm trying to get enough balls in my way here to where I have to air bridge this 10. I'm in one pocket. And this is my pocket. And I don't have any place to do this, right? And I don't feel like going to get my other bridge. Sometimes you can't even get your other bridge. There's just too much stuff in your way. So sometimes you have to air bridge the shot in and be up here like this. Yeah, I don't think anybody's even come close to mastering shit like that. Maybe Dennis, fucking Dennis. But yeah, work on it. Doesn't come up often enough where I don't think a person's just going to get good at them from playing. I think that is a shot, almost for me like a combination shot, where if you want to get better at it, I think you have to actually practice it, set aside some time and mess with it. Because how many times, you know, I play an awful lot of one pocket. How many times have I used an air bridge, you know, in the last 10 years? 10 or 20, maybe. Probably missed every one of those 10 or 20 though. And maybe if I put in the time and practiced, you know, maybe I would have made half of them. Would have been pretty cool. But waiting for those things to just come up, even if I'm just practicing down here in my basement, they're not going to come up often enough for me to make any real progress. Now I'm close to the rail on this shot here, and I'm elevated a little bit. Those are two of the problems that I have: close to the rail and elevate. So I tend to overcut these shots. If it's not straight in, I tend to overcut it. So don't do that. Shoot it the other way. It's got to look like I'm basically aiming for this point. It's got to look like that. and often I can put the ball in. I don't like having to do little tricks like that with myself. I don't like having to, like when I showed here, I don't like having to look like I'm shooting the 14 in this direction because my eyes are different and I see it that way. Because eventually, I think I would stop fooling myself. I would start making some kind of subconscious adjustment or whatever, and I would start putting the 14 into this long row wherever I aimed it. I have to watch for that. I do shoot left-handed often enough that I think I would notice it, you know, pretty much right away. Hey, that ball went where I thought it was going to go. Cool, I guess. I think I might be done. Obviously, everybody that plays pool, except Dennis, fucking Dennis, is going to have issues with certain things, certain types of shots, whatever, depending on your skill level. You know, hell, I remember when I first started playing, I couldn't even draw the ball. Probably like most people. For me, it was a follow shot. That was all I could do. Hell, I remember me and my buddy, when we were like 8 or 9 years old, he had a table in his basement, and if we had this shot, we played a game we just called it straight pool. It was whoever could make 8 balls first, and it would take us, you know, a year and a half to win one game, because if we had this shot, we had no concept of how to do anything but follow the cue ball and hope it didn't follow it straight in. A lot of times it would be stuff like we'd shoot it really soft and hope that the cue ball wouldn't go in. But really, I mean, for the most part, if we got a shot like this, that's what was going to happen. We were going to follow it in. Because we didn't know. We didn't know. We were kids. Give me a break. We were kids. We didn't know that stop shots existed. We didn't know that you could do that and slow the cue ball down. Or if you don't have an angle, you can do that and stop the cue ball. We didn't know that. We learned it. Just like with draw. When I first started playing, I'd really try to draw the ball. I might get something like that. And probably not even that when I first started. But I remember setting this up a lot, this way, dumbass, and just working on my draw. And my draw stroke's very crappy compared to that of a lot of people. But compared to the way it was, in 1983, it's very good. Yeah, I'm not hitting the cue ball at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with that again. Am I just not seeing it correctly? That time I hit the cue ball at 6 o'clock. I know, I just started rambling. I was doing fine, then I started rambling. The whole point of what I was going to say was, everybody has something that they need to work on, that I think they need to work on. And, you know, part of the trick is recognizing that, accepting that. Don't just go, I choose to be better at left-handed shots, therefore I am better at left-handed shots. No, you have to actually work on it. And it just, you know, there's nothing special about me that allows me to pocket some balls left-handed that nobody else would even try. Those others either have a lot more confidence in their bridge work than me, or they just never bothered to practice the left-handed shooting enough. And I'm the same way with combinations. You know, air bridge shots, balls with the cue ball stuck to the rail. Those are my next thing to work on, is the ball stuck to the rail, the cue ball stuck to the rail. Because it's cost me a lot of games. And it's cost me a lot of, well, at least shots, to where I have to hope my opponent misses and I get back to the table. I did it a few times, you know, in this tournament last weekend. Oh, Dave, talk about the tournament more. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It just happens. So I need to work on that. I know it's an issue for me. I know it's been an issue for me for a long time. And it comes up often enough that it is something I should absolutely be working on. So now that I'm done practicing 8-ball for a while, I've got a little bit of extra time before I have to really start bearing down and practicing for Derby City. I can work on those cue ball stuck to the rail shots. Probably won't master them at at the time of messing with them, but I think I'll get better at them, and that's all I can really ask for. Just slight improvement. You don't have to do this, just slight improvement, and that's it. I'll tell you.